Gumboot really love livery cars, and anything from the Bold crew is going to be stunning. We were lucky enough to catch up with Jayden and find out how he got this beauty and why it looks the way it looks.
Hey, I'm Jayden, and this is my 1997 Nissan 180SX.
Hey man,
How's it going?
it's good. Let's go. Oh. Yay.
Yeah.
So that's a Nismo no way?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So this is, let me guess. So wait a minute, let me just look around. This is, whoa, I want to say it's a 2-litre one because of the seats, or have the seats been changed?
So,
Is this a 92?
it's a 97.
Whoa. Oh, is this a Type X?
Yes.
Ah, okay, that's why I'm completely thrown. I'm sitting here going, come on, this doesn't feel right, nothing looks right,
Yeah.
it's all been changed.
No, I've got the, put the S13 front seats in it.
Ah, right, okay.
Bit comfier. Mostly did it for compliance and cert.
Yep,
Because,
because you brought this in yourself, didn't you?
yeah, correct.
Yep.
Imported it from Japan 3 years ago now, actually.
Cool. How long did it take from import to compliance?
So, funnily enough, I won the auction on my birthday in June.
Yep.
And it arrived around, I think it was August, September. Yeah, so 3 odd months.
Mate.
So, it was a very interesting time, struggling, waiting, just trying to, is it going to arrive? Is it going to turn up? And
So just lack of information?
yeah, well, it was like, okay, I was told it was on the ship, and then that was kind of it. I didn't hear anything else until it arrived in the country.
Oh, that's creepy.
It arrived 2 days before we went into a level 4 lockdown.
Oh, yes. So did you get to go and pick it up, or?
Yeah,
Oh, wicked.
picked it up from the ports and drove it straight back home,
Yep.
and then tore it apart because we were in lockdown for a few weeks.
Yeah, well, what else are we going to do, right?
Yeah.
And so what's done to it mechanically?
Mechanically,
Yeah.
engine-wise,
Yeah.
still completely stock.
Cool. Turbo as well?
Yep, so
Is that the T28 on the later model car?
T28, I think it is actually.
Yeah. So SR20, 97, it's got to be, what, 180 kilowatts, 220 horse, somewhere around that, aren't they?
Probably from factory,
Yeah.
but probably not anymore.
Not anymore, yeah, true. I forget how old these are now.
Yeah, this one's, it's got a few issues mechanically.
Yep.
It does need some love,
Yep.
which I don't give it sometimes, but it's a fun car. They're SRs, and unfortunately I don't have any wood here to touch, but touch wood, they're a little indestructible.
Okay, yep.
Parts are getting more rare now.
Everything
gr-
is.
great
Especially
thing-
things like this, because they're getting sent all around the world.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
around the world, and not only that, they're like the most popular drift car in the world as
Yep.
well. So they just get slammed and beaten
Yep.
up. People buy them and just strip them apart for parts.
Yep.
So they're getting rarer by the minute.
Yeah, they are.
So that also makes prices a little bit ridiculous. But the upside on that is, since they're such a popular drift car, is so many aftermarket parts now
Yep,
around.
of course. Well supported motor.
Yeah.
Oh, they're just so right. Like, it's just all too familiar.
They're just a ball of fun, really.
Yeah.
Like, I've always had thoughts on selling it, but then I just can't put myself to it.
My piece of advice to you as an older gentleman is don't ever sell this car, because you'll regret it the minute you do and the money will be gone.
Yeah.
Cool. So 97, it is still a 180SX?
Yeah, so still a 180SX.
Because it's the Type X.
Yeah,
They
correct.
still call the 180s.
Well, so how it works is, So you got 180 SX, 200 SX, and 240.
Yep.
240 is the American
Yeah,
market.
US only, yeah.
Because it came with a 2.4 litre KA24.
Yeah, that feels great. That feels exactly like it should.
Yeah.
Oh.
The 180 is the Japanese market.
Yes.
So originally they came out with the CA18 DET.
Yes.
1.8 litre, and then they went through a refresh.
Really?
I think it was I think it was around 94.
Yep.
They went through a refresh, and then they added the SR20 into it. But over in Japan, they didn't change their chassis number. They just changed it to. They kept it as 180 SX.
Yeah. Well, they effectively dropped it and started the S14.
Yeah.
And then the way I heard is there was still so much demand for it that they put it back in. Is how I heard it, but obviously only domestically.
Yeah. And then the 200 SX it's called that because it came with
The 2 litre.
2 litre.
Yep.
So everyone says, "Oh, I've got a 200 SX over here in New Zealand." That could mean an S14, S15, or a 180.
Yeah,
but everyone
absolutely.
knows these as 180s, or over in America, 240s is.
Yeah, the
is that-
240. Yeah.
And then if you're in Japan, they'll call it an S13 because it is an S13. It's just the hatch variant. So.
Yes.
But yeah, I chucked these S15 seats in it because it came with the full Type X interior. So the Type X seats, I've got that at home, except for the driver's seat.
Except for the driver's seat, was it mounted?
No, it came with a horrible Japanese bucket seat.
Oh yes.
Like it was a camo bucket seat. It was tiny. It didn't really fit me too well.
Wow. And
and-
you're not a big human.
Yeah, and it was just bolted in. So obviously, you need a whole bunch of other
It
stuff.
was Japanesed.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it had the rails for it, and that's it. But obviously, over here for cert wise, it's not enough. So got these for a good score, which is quite nice. And they suit the interior.
Isn't it amazing what some stickers can do to a car?
It's unreal. That's
Like-
why I love my job.
Yeah, I do love your job too. I love what you guys do.
I went from playing with stickers as a little kid to playing with stickers as a big kid. Of course, there's a cop.
Oh, doesn't want me.
But yeah,
Your stickers must help you with the cops.
It does. They love it.
Yep. Because as soon as Mikey and I started Cannonball Run first and started putting stickers on our cars, we noticed real quick that the cops actually leave you alone.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're like, you're being too obvious, and you've obviously spent some money on that car, so you're probably legit.
Pretty much. Like
the
it's a
feeling I get.
case with this car. It's like if I'm going to do stupid stuff, it's pretty obvious. What other car looks like this in the country?
Yep, absolutely.
But yeah, the attention that all the liveried cars that we do at work and this, it brings in a lot. But the thing that kind of, I guess, warms my heart a bit, it's the kids. Like you can't beat the kids.
Yeah, man. I love cruising around with Gary and Lightning.
Yeah.
Bro, you'll be behind him at a set of lights, and you'll hear Lightning McQueen from like nowhere, and you spin around, and there'll be a kid just going. Like all its world's fucking heroes have come at once.
It's awesome.
And there's just Gary and his Commodore.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
I was at Mobile Key Street at one point, just chilling with the boys, having a bit of a yarn. And there was this family, and there was about 3 or 4 kids. And they were like standing probably about 20 meters away from the car, trying to take a photo, by standing in front of the car, but like far away, trying to be secretive. So I'm like, come over here, you want to jump in the car and take a photo?
That's what I do as well.
I don't care. Like, here, have the keys, take it for a spin, whatever.
We were at Key Street one day, and I was in my Starlet, and there was like Evos and WRXs and Skylines and shit there, and this lady comes up to me and goes, my son says your car's the coolest car here and wondered if he can get a photo next to it. And I was like, God, you tell me that, man. He can damn near fucking have it. And I was like, there's the keys, go jump in, do whatever. And she was like, really? And I was like, no, man, you've made my day.
Yeah,
it's
pretty much.
Like, your son's awesome.
Yeah, that stuff, it just fills the heart, and then they're so appreciative, thankful. And it's like the kids' faces, it's like you can't beat it. Because I used to be that kid at one point.
Yeah,
in time.
same.
It was like, saw a car, and it's cool to do that. Like, driving around like the city at like 12 o'clock, 1 a.m. and seeing all the drunk people literally fall over for your car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, but that's a different kind of funny.
Yeah, it's different funny,
yeah. You can't beat the kids.
Yeah, pop-up headlights.
But-
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't beat pop-up headlights.
You can't. That was really awesome. Like, I miss these cars. They're so much fun. They feel so right, and especially at the end when they had a little bit of a tutu. That was freaking rad.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. So why an S13?
When I was a little kid, really, it's kind of like the first car that I kind of took notice of.
Yep.
I think it was because of the pop-up headlights.
Yep.
I've always been a Nissan person. My first car was a Nissan Primera.
Yep.
And ventured down, got a 350Z. That was a lemon. Then went down the Honda route. Enjoyed that. And then ended up going back to Nissan and always wanted something. And Skylines are cool and all, but they weren't really something that was for me.
Yep.
Well, I wouldn't say that they're not for me. I'll probably get one in the long future.
Yes.
But at the time it was like, I want something that's cool and fun and something that's unique that not a lot of people have.
Yep.
Like I know lots of people that do have these, but when I went around to meets and car meets and doing photography, I saw none of them out
There's
there.
none.
Saw absolutely none. I saw a lot of Skylines, a lot of Chasers, and
There's even a fair few Sylvias.
yeah,
Really?
yeah. There's a lot of S14s.
Oh yeah.
And
S14s and 15s. It's a completely different
Yeah.
kettle of fish.
Exactly.
Yep.
And there's still some S13s as well, the coupes, but there's never really a lot of these on the
No.
road. Later I found out it's because they're an S13, so they always have issues. But yeah, I suppose that was kind of the main reason for it. It was a little bit of an impulsive buy, kind of.
Well, you said you looked for 6 months, so
Yeah,
it
well-
wasn't that impulsive.
Well, I had the money sitting there,
Yep.
and it was like I wanted something.
Yep.
Wanted to learn, like it's my first ever project car as well, like
Yep.
big project car.
Yep.
So I wanted to learn on something, so I bit the bullet and I was like, all right, let's start searching, let's go on the auctions. And yeah, kind of spiraled down there, and then probably about 9 months later it arrived in Auckland. So
And what's your favourite mod on it?
other than the livery on how that came out, probably have to say the wheels at this current stage. I'm such a big fan of the wheels.
I couldn't go past the livery, to me.
Yeah.
But I think you're, what's the word? You're spoilt for them
Yeah.
because you do them for a living.
I
So
suppose so, and maybe I'm just a little biased. Like I prefer all the other liveries that I do on other cars.
oh,
Like
naturally, this is your one. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's a good old saying. It's like, you know, the mechanic always has the most unreliable car, and
Yep.
the builder's always got an unfinished house
Yep.
and stuff like that.
Yep.
Same with this. Is like there are issues that I could point out that not a lot of people will
No, of
see
course
on
not.
the rack,
No, of course not.
obviously. But that's just because it's my car.
Yeah.
Obviously, on clients' cars, it's like perfect,
Yep.
pinpoint perfect.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why I'm just a little biased over it.
I just love it. While we were driving along, you know,
Yeah.
old, young, new, whatever,
Yeah.
people like pointing, waving, smiling, thumbs up at the lights,
Yeah.
and we pulled over to take some footage of it at the car park, and a guy came up, oh, I had one of these when I was
Yeah.
a teenager. That was so cool.
Yeah,
And
it's awesome.
I think the livery is what does that.
Yeah.
I think the livery invites people to have a conversation about it, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's so funny when people are like, "Oh, is yellow your favorite color?" I'm like, "Hell no! I hate yellow. Yellow is not my color at all." But it just happened to turn out like this, and as the joke has always been around, every now and again, it's like common traffic, you know.
Yep.
Imagine just driving along normally to your work on a random day, or like
Yep.
going out to a Sunday afternoon brunch, and you just see this rock past. Like, it's no supercar and no Lamborghini or anything, which still attracts attention, but it's different.
Yeah, I love
It's
it.
not just a plain white 180, which still look beautiful.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
It's just different, and that's what I like about it. I love also just showing personality and the creativity as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that as well. No point being the same as everyone else.
Yeah.
And so tell me about the day you picked it up. So came into the port, what'd you do? Chuck it on a trailer or?
Oh, so it arrived at the port, and my mate who was helping me import it at the time,
Yep.
I just got a missed call, and a text message saying that your car's here. My good mate Josh, who you would know because he was helping running the instigators back at the time.
Oh
Josh
yes,
Cowdery.
I saw him today.
Yeah, so he helped me get this.
Oh wow,
Because
that's the small world that we live in.
Because I was in the instigators probably about 3 years ago.
Oh, and the second gen.
Yeah. So I was around with him. So yeah, he's the one who helped me get
I caught
this.
up with Josh. Was it yesterday or today? No, it was yesterday. And the all ironies was my mate Dan that I was with was one of the original instigators as well. And Josh was like, "Hey, bro," and then I went, "Oh, hey Dan, do you remember?" And they were like, "Oh, no way!" It was so cool.
Fuzzy.
Yeah. I know he's a good sort, man.
Yeah,
he's a top bloke.
He's really cool, and I think that might be another catalyst on why I got the 180 because he had one as well. And being in the car club, I had a horrible old Pulsar. Well, it wasn't the best.
I quite like Pulsars.
But it was a fun little toy. It lasted a lot longer than I thought. But yeah, I think that was another catalyst on why I got it. But yeah, so I got a message from him saying that it had arrived, and he got it from the ports and took it back to his parents' place. Went to go pick up the car and drove into his place, and sure enough, it was there. The 3 months of just stress had just washed away. Of is the car coming up?
Because you almost wish you could just GPS track it.
Exactly.
So you could be like,
there
it is, or go, what's the ship number? And I'll just, you know?
And we had limited amount of photos. That's one thing I learned about, I guess, importing yourself or through a mate or whatever, is never trust auction sheets and never trust just the photos. Always get someone to inspect it. There's about $7.5 grand worth of rust repairs in this thing that were not expected.
Not an uncommon story, and not just Japan. I've had friends bring things in from America that were checked by someone over there and got here and you could see through the chassis.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the guy didn't crouch down and look through it.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't find that out till later on. But yeah, the whole stress and relief was gone. It's like my car, that's mine sitting there.
And it would start and run and drive? And
Started, run, drove. He handed me the keys, gave him a massive hug, couldn't thank him enough for actually.
Oh, did you drive it home?
Yeah, oh yeah. 100%.
Yes!
Of course I'd drive it home. Why would I trailer it home?
I love it.
So I drove it all the way from Birkenhead all the way here.
And
yeah, I think it was either the day after or 2 days after we went into level 4 lockdown and everything got shut down. At the time I was working at Countdown.
Oh wow.
So I still had a job, I was still going.
My son was at Countdown also. It was actually really good for him. Because it almost felt normal.
It kind of helped pay for some of this as well because I just racked up the hours.
Why not?
Couldn't go to school, so I just racked up the hours.
That's exactly what he did. He just worked.
So I was doing 50, 60 odd hour weeks at Countdown. Cool. And yeah, so that helped fund this, and basically I think within the next week it was in parts in my garage. I kicked my mum's car out and my car was off to one side, fully stripped. I had all the parts there. I didn't know what I was doing at all. I had no clue. This is my first big project car. I've done little mods here and there like lowering springs and stuff, but nothing to the extent of this. I had to tidy up the rear fenders because they were already pre-cut. They came with fender flares. They were cut atrociously and the welded horribly, so I had to tidy all that up. I don't know welding, so I went down to my mate just down the road.
I don't do welding either. So it's not a talent I can be bothered learning.
Yeah, so my mate down the road, Alan, he's him and his dad have done wonders for me and helped me throughout this with all the welding process and everything. But yeah, just to kind of see where it's come from to now it's a little shocking, to be honest. I never thought it would be like this, but
it's pretty cool.
But yeah, I didn't know what I was doing at the start. Lots of YouTube, lots of mates helping and giving tips, and just I'll put this here and see what happens. And thankfully, it managed all to work. So
nice. And what's next?
Say the next thing, which will be a big lengthy process, and it will probably come off the road for a year or so. It will be the engine. The engine will be the next step. It needs a lot of love, a lot of maintenance. I'm probably not going for much power. I might chuck an S13 turbo on it. That's it. I'm not really all for the whole big horsepower.
It's a street car.
Yeah, exactly. Why drive it? I get some people love the horsepower and the fun and, throwing back in your seats. I love it too. But if it's my car, I don't want to be wanting to shoot myself every time I'm driving it because it's just
I'm the same. And you don't want to get a car that you can't take out in the rain.
Exactly.
It cracks me out when people are like, I can't drive it in the rain. What do you mean you can't drive it in the rain? It's too powerful. And I'm like, I'd rather have less power.
And Auckland traffic is you have massive heavy duty double clutches and all this, and it's just, not for me. So basically it'll be pulling the engine out, kind of stripping it all apart, freshening it, new seals, just
similar to what Greg did effectively.
Make it reliable. send off parts here and there.
Yep.
It'll be tidying up the engine bay as well.
Yeah, of course. Well, that's
be
out you might as well.
Yeah, top mount turbo because it's still the bottom mount.
Yep.
Get rid of that horrible side mount intercooler.
Yep.
Do a front mount.
Yep.
New intake. Like just make it nice.
Yep. Give it a clean up while you're in there as well.
Yeah, nice engine bay that I can actually pop the hood off.
Yeah.
At the
know what you
moment,
mean.
everyone's like, "Oh, pop the hood." I'm like, no.
No. Put the stickers on the outside for a reason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I made the outside look cool, so you don't need to worry about what's inside.
No, it's top secret, bro. You don't want to see it.
Yeah.
And so, if money wasn't an object, what would be sitting instead of this?
Ooh.
To use like this?
I don't know, to be honest.
No, that's fair.
Yeah,
So this is it then, isn't it?
Yeah, like there's other cars I do love, but
Yep.
like, you know.
You wouldn't swap this for it?
I don't think so. I don't
Nah.
think I could have the heart for it.
That means you got the right car.
Like, I would love, for example, a Toyota Chaser or
Yep.
like a LFA and stuff like that.
yeah.
But it's like, this is a toy car,
Yep.
in my opinion.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, thanks for letting me drive your car.
No worries.
That was freaking rad.
Awesome having you here.
It did exactly what I thought it would. I got in, it felt right is
Yeah.
the answer. It's got that little bit of lag and then it comes on and it's just, bellissimo. It's perfect.
It's a Sylvia.
Yep.